Hello, another video. I'd like to talk to y'all about e-cigs. This is my e-cig that I built. I ordered all the parts separately to save a lot of money. I spent about $70 plus shipping, and the guy that owns the local tobacco shop here said that he would sell something like this in his store for about $200. But just to give you an idea, this part here that I'm unscrewing is called a bolt. It was about 35. The battery was about 10. The cartomizer here that holds the liquid and actually heats it up, that was about 15, I think. I think so. I smoked cigarettes for about 24 years. A pack-a-day habit for over 20 of those years. I decided to try to quit with one of these, and basically your nicotine is here in the juice, and you can get different flavors of juice, and it heats up and produces a vapor. It gives the appearance of smoke. It's actually vapor. The reason I chose to build one of these big ones instead of one of the cigarette-sized ones, the cheaper ones, the batteries in the smaller ones don't really heat up the juice as well as I would like it to. I wanted an authentic feel to it. I wanted it to feel like I was actually smoking a cigarette, to get that burn feeling in your throat. And this does a pretty good job of doing that. Give you an idea. You just hit it like a regular cigarette. The battery lasts 3 to 5 days, depending on how often I use it. And you lower the nicotine concentration in the juice as you try to cut back. I plan on continuing to use it when I get my nicotine down to 0, but going from cigarettes to this, you're going from, I don't know, 3,000 to 4,000 chemicals per cigarette to like just 2 in this. There's a couple of different kinds of juice that you can get. One's a vegetable based and one's a glycerin based. There's a lot to this. If I remember correctly, the glycerol based is more of a watered down liquid like this. It burns faster, but it produces more smoke and more flavor. The vegetable based like this, it's a thicker liquid. And it burns a lot slower, but it produces less smoke and less flavor. These are the replaceable heads that you can get for the cartomizer. Give me an idea of what that looks like. That's it. And that's the piece that plugs into here. This cartomizer I got is a rebuildable tank is what it's called. If you look closely, you can see that each piece is separate. The top part, bottom part, this middle piece, everything on the inside is separate. These things burn out over time, so it's nice to be able to replace just these heads instead of having to replace the whole cartomizer. So that's why I chose this particular cartomizer. It's called a VV Nova, if you're interested. But like I said, I was able to purchase all these pieces separately and online and save a fortune. These bottles right here will last all week, and that's average vaping, I guess, and this is about $4. So you're going from $4 a week in juice versus however much you were spending per week in cigarettes. So really you'll save a fortune doing this, and you'll quit smoking and save your life. I have to say this is one of the best decisions I've made in a long time, is switching to these. My taste buds have come back. I mean, there's just a laundry list of positives that I've gained from doing this, and it's been 2 months. Since my last cigarette, I've had no problems. I mean, there was a couple of times I was extra stressed where a cigarette would have been nice, but with this, handy. I really had no problems. To give you an idea of what I mean by stressful, I watched a SUV flip. The guy flew out the window and was all mangled in the middle of the street, and I was the first one on scene. Really crazy, really stressful. At that point, I could have used a cigarette, but this took care of it, no problem. The rest of the time, I really haven't even felt the need for a cigarette. Even when I drank, I had a few beers not too long ago, no problems at all. And that's what I hear most from people that are trying to quit is if they're a drinker and they drink, that's when they really want a cigarette the most. And I was the same way. I just don't drink very often. But yeah, something to look into. It's done me a world of good. I can't stress enough. If you have any questions or you want links to where I got my stuff or anything like that, feel free to comment below. Ask your questions. I'll answer any questions that come through because I think anybody that wants to quit smoking needs to look into this. I cannot stress it enough how good it's done for me. So, have a good day. Take care. I hope y'all look into this if you're interested.